All right, y'all. Welcome back, Sideline Cancer family. We have had a lot of player preview series going on. We've had 5 to this point, but we have not had anyone join us like Cathy Griffith. Cathy, it is a pleasure to have you on. You are the creator, the founder of the Griffith Family Foundation, the person behind the charge for Sideline Cancer TBT. How are you doing today, though, before we get into anything?
Doing good, and thank you, Andrew, for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It is a blast. I knew we were going to have this at some point, wasn't sure when, so I'm glad to get you on. I think this is going to be an incredible story. And doing a lot of background research is pretty remarkable. The growth that you've kind of built with the Griffith Family Foundation and Sideline Cancer. You've been, again, behind the scenes kind of carrying all this through. So let's just kick it off there. At what point did you decide to really create the Griffith Family Foundation or really kickstart with it?
Well, when my husband was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer back in February of 2010, our community really rallied around us to really want to change the trajectory of pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer is the third leading cause of all cancer deaths around the globe, and it's a very lethal cancer. You know, when you think of pancreatic cancer, what comes to mind is Alex Trebek, who just passed of it in, I believe it was November of 2020. And then, you have Steve Jobs, Patrick Swayze, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Michael Landon, from Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
The list goes on. A lot of high profile celebrities. And, the needle has not moved. And so it is the only cancer that the needle has not moved. And so, what Greg, my husband, who was diagnosed at age 48, was a beloved member of our community, loved the game of basketball, played, morning basketball, played men's leagues. I mean, really even played basketball during his stage 4 pancreatic cancer illness. So basketball was really at the heart of Greg. And so the foundation was created in 2010 when two young family friends came to us, Luke and Amanda Ottaway, wanting to do something to help change the outcome of pancreatic cancer. So we had what was called the Griff's Run and Gun for a cure dinner and a 3-on-3 basketball tournament the next morning. So you can see that basketball was front and center then and still is today.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And if I did my research correctly, you originally wanted to call kind of the sideline cancer was going to be actual tackle cancer, correct? And then it kind of changed to
Correct.
sideline cancer.
Yes. So after Greg had passed, we continued to host the dinners and the Griff's 3-on-3 basketball tournament. But you can see when you have something called Griff's Run and Gun, we all in the basketball community know what that is. But
Hmm.
the general public was not sure what is a Griff's Run and Gun. So Greg's, idea prior to him passing was to take it beyond Griff's Run and Gun, find a new name. Lo and behold, we thought we found it and called Tackle Cancer in 2012. And then we hosted the 2012 Intel Science and Engineer Fair winner, Jack Andraka. We had seen him on 60 Minutes. He was appearing on every talk show. He was going to go, he spoke at the Royal Society of Medicine. He was everywhere, even, was hosted at the White House for one of the dinners. And so we got a hold of him and we brought him to our community here. We live near Penn State Altoona campus. We hosted Jack Andraka, and it was Jack that pulled me aside and said, Mrs. Griffith, this is not the campaign Tackle Cancer. It's too limited to football. So my son Jordan and a group of us, Jordan came up with Sideline Cancer, and then a student of Jordan's and an intern of ours, Morgan Jennings, saw the ICan, as you see behind me, and we trademarked it. So Sideline Cancer was a collaborative idea, literally of the idea of Jack Andraka. The idea then went to Jordan, and then literally Jordan, a student at Hollidaysburg, a basketball player, saw the ICan and we trademarked it in 2013.
I love that. Yeah, it took me a while. I don't think I even realized till a couple weeks ago that the ICan was a part of the Sideline Cancer. I don't know why they just never resonated with me, but it's pretty impressive. You can't unsee it. It's a part of it, and I love that.
Right. And that's to me the most, beautiful thing about the logo is the ICan. In a world that we live in today full of can'ts, the ICan, when you get on that court or whatever obstacle you're facing in life, whether it's chemotherapy, whether it's any type of a medical diagnosis or anything in your life, it's truly important to have an ICan attitude and a believe always spirit. And that's what our Sideline Cancer TBT team emulates every single year going into year number 9.
Yeah, and let's talk about that a little bit. So year number 9, putting together an impressive team. But I want to start with you joined TBT when it was this kind of unheard of concept, this pretty new idea. You obviously knew you wanted to be a basketball type of thing. You wanted to use basketball as the vehicle for communicating out and advocacy and awareness for pancreatic cancer. But how did you hear about the TBT? How did you decide to get into the TBT the first time? And how have you seen it kind of grow the advocacy of your pancreatic cancer mission?
Well, the really cool thing is, Billy Clapper, our general manager and good family friend, had come to my office in 2014 with an idea. And he used the verbiage that my husband used to say. Kathy, there's that window on ESPN where there's not a lot happening. Well, there's a novel idea to have a basketball tournament called the basketball tournament. And would he be able to use our trademark logo? And I said, not only would you be able to use it, but I would love to work with you on this. And, so literally, one of my son's good friends and dear family friends, John Boyer, was our original point guard. He had played at Hollidaysburg High School here in Pennsylvania and then at the University of Buffalo. So he was our first, point guard. And it was really cool to have John raising awareness for pancreatic cancer. We all felt that in our spirit, that was a beautiful gesture, that Billy had the idea and then John Boyer came on board. And then the following, I think the following 2 years, my son Jordan got more involved as he saw what Billy and I were up to with it.
That's super cool. And you've obviously seen the TBT grow, and as that has grown, Sideline Cancer has also grown, coming just a few points away from winning the championship. The last couple of years, I think, as I was talking to not Mo, Marcus Keene. Sorry, I was talking to Marcus Keene, and we were realizing that the last 3 seasons, Sideline Cancer has actually lost to the team that has won the championship. So, becoming so close every single time. How have you seen TBT grow in the last 9 years?
Well, I'll tell you what, it has really been a absolute outstanding vehicle to raise awareness for pancreatic cancer. There really are not any public service announcements on a consistent basis. It really is the type of disease that any one of us could be a victim to pancreatic cancer. So it really knows no boundaries. Greg's was not genetic, nor did he have, cancer run in the family. So it really, to me, it should be on the airwaves, at least on a regular basis, bringing the awareness factor. And so that's what our foundation saw, that it's in a wonderful way to raise awareness for pancreatic cancer on ESPN in 197 countries. So what I have seen each year is the momentum growing, with our logo, Sideline Cancer. We are now helping all patients with cancer. So that's the beauty of being, gifted by God this logo called ICan Sideline Cancer. It really can help all cancer patients. And so I've seen that in the TBT, that the patients gravitate to it, the families affected by cancer gravitate to it. And and cancer, really everybody has been affected by it in some way. There's no
Mhm.
one on the planet that has not been.
Absolutely, yeah. Couldn't agree more. So what's on the horizon for the Griffith Family Foundation and Sideline Cancer in the future? What do you see is kind of the ultimate long-term goal?
Well, our long-term goal, absolutely, is to get all cancer off the sideline into the
Yeah.
finish line for a cure. And so, basically, how do we go about doing that? We have a three-prong approach. The three-prong approach is awareness, which we do in the TBT, advocacy. I'm a national advocate with AACR and ASCO, and former vice chair of the Digestive Disease National Coalition in Washington, D.C. So we bring literally all three aspects, the third aspect being research. And we really work with everybody in the World Pancreatic Cancer Coalition so that research can be shared and that we all can, be vessels of change, and we truly are stronger together. And that's what the World Pancreatic Cancer Coalition enables us to do.
That's really cool. And as far as TBT, what would it mean for you to see Sideline Cancer take home the championship this year?
Wow, it would be everything. I mean, it would be really, really awesome. And, if it is the will of God to happen, it will happen. And what I tell our team every day, or every year, we're going to keep running and gunning through the purple Red Sea. And whatever the outcome is supposed to be, it will be. And so, there really isn't any pressure. It's really just about waiting with expectation to see how the plan will unfold.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool to see how Sideline Cancer has developed and how they have grown and how they have taken down some of those big teams, some of those Goliaths, you could say. I think of like Overseas Elite back in the 2020 COVID year. That was such an unexpected win, and really, I feel like put Sideline Cancer on the map. Now Sideline Cancer is coming in, and they have the target on their back, right? People are looking to take down Sideline Cancer, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens in this year's TBT.
Well, I'm really proud, we are the hunted now, but that brings a great challenge with it too, because we've worked hard, as you have seen and others have seen, to get to that point. And
Hmm.
again, when you go with that adage of we're going to run and gun through the purple Red Sea, that takes that pressure right off and that target off the back, because then you're free to move with the mobility. But I really am so proud of our head coach, Charlie Parker, our general manager, Billy Clapper, my son, Jordan Griffith, executive director, of Sideline Cancer. We really work collaboratively every day, 365 days a year, along with so many people on our board and volunteers in our foundation. We really, really strive to want to do, a team approach. So I really think it's the way we go about this is a template for the entire world, that once you bring your gifts and talents together, just as you have been doing for us, Andrew and Matt Crawford, you guys have all been teaming up with us. And the word, I think, if the listener, what would be the word that comes into my spirit for 2022? It is teaming up. That's the only way we're truly going to be able to bring transformational change to the entire world.
That is a phenomenal segue because you've also been teaming up with Dubois Dream. And I actually just chatted with Albert Veracallo yesterday, and I believe, well, today we're chatting on Monday. The interview dropped today as we're chatting. This interview will be dropping on Wednesday, but you just teamed up with Dubois Dream. You did a Sideline Cancer Dream Clinic in Dubois, Pennsylvania. Is that correct? I
That
believe.
is correct.
Okay. What has that been like? How did that all come about? And what has that meant to growing the mission of Sideline Cancer and obviously the Griffith Family Foundation?
Well, Albert had lost his father to a bicycling accident in 2010, and they formed the Dr. Vera Kahlo Family Foundation. And his mother, Luann, was the matriarch of that foundation, and they really did a lot of things with basketball and AAU. And, so we were drawn to that. In fact, I don't know if Albert shared, but at one point he had reached out to Billy Clapper, and Billy was like, "Hey, I've already got a full roster." This was maybe back in
Mhm.
2014, and then 15, I believe, and then that led Albert to go form, his own Du Bois Dream TBT. So our paths have always been interwoven. And so it's really amazing to see God's masterpiece, the ultimate weaver of the masterpiece, has been weaving since Albert's dad had passed in 2010. Greg had passed in 2011, and then our paths crossed. And it's really cool to see how now we are teaming up, because I got a call at Christmas time of 2021 that Albert's mother, Luann, was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. So we were able to be there with them, and truly team up with their family to offer hope, to offer guidance. And then unfortunately, she passed away in March from pancreatic cancer. And I think it's really cool that, Albert is playing on our team in memory and in honor of his mother, Luann.
Absolutely, yeah. It definitely comes full circle. We talked about this yesterday, but it comes all the way back around, and it all eventually leads in the same convergent path. I think is really cool. And you also mentioned family. I would say when I've talked to each of the TBT players for Sideline Cancer, family is something that seems to resonate with each and every one of them, and they enjoy the familial aspect of it. Basically, kind of like the team mom, right? I think you're
I'm
there both there
proud
with
to
the
say
kids.
I
Yeah,
am the team mom, and I've always been the team mom my entire life, and it was always the number one passion. So it's amazing after Greg had passed that I continued at a different level to be the team mother. And so, when we heard the news that our captain of our Sideline Cancer TBT team, Mo Creek, was trapped in the Ukraine, ironically, one of our Sideline Cancer coaches in Gettysburg, retired Lieutenant Colonel Eric Nordberg, was able to work out of his basement in Gettysburg with the help of Charlie Parker, our coach, and Jordan, to get him out of the Ukraine. And so, there is, when you really think about family, we're there. Family is there for you no matter what. That story with Mo emulated that. No matter what it took, we were going to give it our best. Again, it was thy will be done. And we literally gave it our best. And by the grace of God, Mo got home.
yeah, what an incredible story. Well, I think the story is actually on the Sideline Cancer TBT YouTube channel. If not, we'll try to get that up there as well so people can see that amazing story that was done on him. And we also interviewed Mo Creek earlier on about a month ago as well, and he alluded to that a little bit as well, which I thought was really incredible. Cathy, my last question for you is: 11 years ago, did you have any idea that you would be at this point in the pancreatic cancer journey and Sideline Cancer? I mean, is this pretty remarkable or what?
Yeah, I'm a dental hygienist, housewife, and never in my wildest dreams did I ever think this would happen. But I think what it is, it's another lesson for each and every one of us. Greg and I met when I was in ninth grade and he was in 11th grade. We are high school sweethearts. And, we were married at 22 and 24, and we really are soulmates. And it's truly, you can see that Greg's soul and my soul are united. He's in heaven. I work it from earth. And it's literally a full court press from heaven and earth. And it takes place right out there on the basketball court. And again, it's just that ICan attitude and believe always spirit. I never would have dreamed this would all happen, but it does take putting one foot instead of the other in front of the other each and every day, never getting too high, never getting too low. And that's what I would say to everybody listening. Never get too high, never get too low. Stay steady. That's where the peace is, by staying steady.
First, how can folks support the Griffith Family Foundation and Sideline Cancer?
Well, that's really easy, Andrew. They can text 44321, message hashtag ICan. And so that's the easiest way that people can donate, is to text to give 44321 with the message hashtag ICan. And that will help us continue our awareness, advocacy, and research efforts.
I love that. And as always, we conclude every episode with doing our superlatives. So before we get to that, what is your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero of all times is Moses. He is my
Ooh,
superhero of all time.
I love that. I love that. That is yeah, that's definitely different than everyone else has said so far. I love that a lot. And what is your favorite song you want to listen to calm down, relax, or even get ready to watch a big Sideline Cancer basketball game?
I agree with Mike Daum. I go with the Fray. I like all the songs of the Fray. How to Save a Life is one of my theme songs. I played that a lot in my head, taking care of Greg. And so I love the Fray and How to Save a Life.
I think that's awesome. Mike would definitely resonate with that as well. What is your favorite thing to do outside of working with the foundation or watching some Sideline Cancer basketball? I know there's a lot of youth clinics and whatnot. What is your favorite thing to do outside of those two things?
My favorite thing to do is to inspire the younger generation. We have a lot of non paid interns that come join and help me during their high school years, their elementary years. I love working with students and I like giving them inspiration about how they can be vessels of change in the world.
That's amazing. Always trying to stick some positivity into the world. I love that. And what is your favorite food item, Cathy?
My favorite food item is pizza, and everybody does know that. But I do not like pineapple on my pizza.
No pie. So what toppings are your favorite go-tos?
I just like pepperoni and lots of cheese.
I can get on board with that. Have you ever had Casey's Pizza? So Matt and I we're both from Iowa. Have you ever had Casey's Pizza?
I never have.
Oh man, have you ever been to Iowa?
No, but if I get to Iowa one day, I'll make sure I have that pizza.
Okay, I mean, to be fair, I don't know if Matt would agree with me, but I think Casey's Pizza is just truly phenomenal. But I'm also not in the Northeast. I don't have access to some of the other delicious type pizzas that you can get in the Northeast. But man, Casey's Pizza is where it's at.
I can't wait. Hopefully, one day I'll get there.
Absolutely. Again, thank you, Cathy, for coming on. Sideline Cancer, folks. Make sure to follow along on the Sideline Cancer YouTube. Follow Cathy on Instagram at Cathy_Griffith_. Play it back. We know exactly how to donate and support Sideline Cancer. You can also go to the website. A lot of amazing stuff going on. And also make sure to support the Sideline Cancer TBT team.
Yep.
July 16th. Is it the 16th, I think, or
I
the
think we
15th?
take the court July 18th.
18th. Okay. The
Yep,
18th
July 18th will
in
be our first
Xavier.
game. And like I said, people can go to our website at sidelinecancer.com. And I want everybody to remember to believe always, I can.